Okay, so today we're going to be listening to the marvelous Debbie Leland. She's a licensed Unity teacher in Ottawa. She's also the senior prayer chaplain, and she's also a police prayer chaplain, if you can believe that. So she's got a lot on her hands. And they love her so much at Unity Village that they've hired her for two teachings of two core courses. So she's very, very busy with Unity work, and we're so happy to have her here today. And so, Debbie, I'm just going to let you take it away.
Thank you, Reverend C. Good morning. It is my pleasure to give today's talk, completing the trilogy of Eric Butterworth's books. We heard Reverend C talk about the book Practical Metaphysics, and Dr. Ann shared his book, The Universe is Calling. Today, I would like to present to you his book, A Quest for Truth. Let us begin by turning within for prayer. In the silence, we recognize one presence, one power, one divine intelligence expressing life as all life. We open our minds and hearts to truth. We release every false belief that has limited us and welcome the Christ light that reveals who we truly are. May these words awaken remembrance rather than teach something new, for truth already lives within us. Amen. Eric Butterworth was one of Unity's greatest teachers because he continually reminded us that spirituality is not about accepting someone else's beliefs. It is about awakening to our own divine nature. His book, A Quest for Truth, is exactly that, a journey, not a search for something outside of ourselves, but a discovery of what has always been within. Eric Butterworth wrote, "Truth is not something to be found. It is something to be realized." This simple statement summarizes the heart of Unity. Many people spend their lives searching for happiness, for purpose, for peace, searching for God. Yet Unity teaches that all of these are already present as divine ideas within us. Our spiritual work is not acquisition, it is awakening. And what is truth? Jesus said in John chapter 8, verse 32, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Notice Jesus didn't say that truth will someday become true. Truth already is. Freedom comes through knowing. Charles Fillmore defined truth as that which is, the real, the enduring spiritual reality behind appearances. Unity distinguishes between facts and truth. A fact may be, "I am sick." Truth says, the life of God is expressing as perfect wholeness. The fact may be, "I've lost my job." The truth says, my source is God, and divine substance continually provides. Facts change. Truth never changes. Butterworth constantly challenged people to stop seeing themselves as human beings trying to become spiritual. Instead, we are spiritual beings temporarily expressing through human experience. That changes everything. Instead of asking, "What should I do?" we begin asking, "Who am I?" The answer is always the same. I am an expression of God. I am an expression of infinite life. I am the Christ in expression. Butterworth believed that religion often encourages people to depend upon outside authority. And we know this by looking at history through the centuries. Many religious traditions have encouraged people to look to external authorities, priests, sacred texts, institutions, or religious external authorities as the primary source of truth and guidance. While this has often provided moral structure and social stability, it has also at times discouraged individuals from trusting their own spiritual insights. Examples include the medieval church's emphasis on clerical authority, periods when questioning religious doctrine was met with persecution, and systems in which believers were taught that access to God depended upon religious intermediaries rather than direct experience. By contrast, unity teaches that the divine presence is already within every person. Instead of relying solely on external authority, unity encourages individuals to seek inner guidance through prayer, meditation, and spiritual awareness. In this view, truth is not something granted by an outside institution, but something awakened from within, as each person learns to recognize the Christ presence at the center of their own being. Unity invites us to listen to the still, small voice. Charles Fillmore called this faculty spiritual understanding. Every one of us has an inner teacher. How often have you just known something? How often has intuition quietly whispered before logic caught up? That is not coincidence. That is divine guidance meant just for you. Butterworth encouraged us to trust that voice more than fear. This is the key. Ask yourself, am I feeling fearful? Or I trust my inner teacher. Sometimes our quest for truth is really a quest to let go. Myrtle Fillmore said, as well as Charles, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done. Notice she doesn't say she waits until she feels ready. Truth requires willingness. That is why will is a power. Butterworth reminds us that much of spiritual growth is removing false beliefs. We don't create light, we remove the curtain. We don't create God, we awaken to God's presence. A sculptor was once asked how he created such a magnificent horse from a block of marble. He smiled. I simply removed everything that wasn't the horse. Isn't that our spiritual work? Removing fear, removing resentment, removing doubt, removing guilt. The divine self has been present all along. Truth isn't added, it is uncovered. Truth becomes real through practice. Unity offers several practical spiritual tools. Prayer, not asking, but aligning. Meditation, not escaping, but listening. Denials, not denying reality, but denying the power of limitation. Affirmations, choosing truth over appearances. Butterworth often encouraged people to stop rehearsing problems. This is called worry. Instead, rehearse possibilities. And this is called faith. Every thought plants a seed. What are you planting? I would like to tell you a story. Imagine an eagle raised among chickens. It scratches in the dirt. It flaps only a few feet. It believes this is life. One day, another eagle flies overhead. The chicken eagle looks up and says, Oh, I wish I could do that. The soaring eagle looks down and answers, You can. No, says the chicken eagle, I've never flown. The soaring eagle replies, You have never flown because you've never believed you were an eagle. Our beliefs determine our experience. Butterworth would say that many people live spiritually like that chicken eagle. Children of God living like frightened chickens. Unity says, remember who you are and soar. This is perhaps Unity's greatest teaching. The Christ is not Jesus' last name. Christ is the divine potential within every person, not some people, every person. Jesus demonstrated this perfectly. He became our way shower. Butterworth often emphasized that Jesus never intended people to worship him, but to follow his examples. He was a teacher. Follow his examples. He invites us to awaken as he awakened. He said, These things that I do, shall you do also. This is an invitation, not an impossibility. Most people live from circumstances influencing them inward. This means we react to what is happening around us, outside of us. One may say, if things improve, I'll be peaceful. Unity reverses that. Become peaceful. Then watch your life change. As we heard in the video at the beginning, Butterworth compared this to tuning a radio. The station is already broadcasting. You simply adjust the frequency. God is always broadcasting wisdom, love, peace, abundance, and healing. The only adjustment required is our own consciousness, and we have free will over our thoughts. This reminds me of a quote from Dr. Wayne Dyer. He said, instead of saying, I'll believe it when I see it, the truth tells us that we will see it when we believe it. Every genuine spiritual journey requires courage. Life is not without pain, but suffering is optional. Truth will often challenge comfortable beliefs. It asks us to forgive when we'd rather judge, to trust when we'd rather worry, to love when we'd rather protect ourselves. Butterworth reminds us that truth always liberates. Even when it feels uncomfortable, even painful. Growth is often the discomfort of becoming who we already are, like chipping away the marble of falsehood. A spiritual practice includes frequently asking ourselves, what truth wants to express through me today? Am I reacting from fear or responding from love? What old belief can I release today? What quality of Christ consciousness wants expression? Imagine if everyone asked those questions in difficult situations. Families would change. Communities would change. The world would change. In conclusion, Eric Butterworth's A Quest for Truth is really a reminder. You are not searching for God. God is expressing as you. You are not searching for peace. Peace is your nature. You are not trying to become spiritual. You are awakening to what has already been true. As Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Within you. And as Butterworth continually reminds us, the greatest discovery is not that truth exists. The greatest discovery is that truth lives in you. So, as our quest ends where it begins, within, let's take this into a guided meditation to awaken the truth within. Take a comfortable position and gently allow your eyes to close or lower your gaze. Take a slow, deep breath. And another. Allow your shoulders to soften. Relax your jaw. Become aware of the gentle rhythm of your breathing. There is nowhere to go, nothing to accomplish. Simply be present. Imagine yourself walking along a peaceful forest path in the early morning. The air is fresh. The shafts of golden sunlight filter through the trees. Each step is quiet and effortless. Ahead, you notice a beautiful clearing. In its center stands a still pool of water. The surface is perfectly calm, reflecting the sky above. As you approach the pool, you look into its depths. Rather than seeing only your reflection, you see something deeper. You see the light of your true self, the Christ's presence, glowing, the divine spark that has always been there. As you gaze at this divine spark, silently affirm to yourself, I am a child of God. The truth lives within me. I release every belief that says, I am less than whole. I release fear. I release doubt. I release limitation. Watch these old beliefs dissolve into the depths of the water. Now allow your awareness to rest in the light you can see glowing within your heart. Feel it growing brighter with every breath. This light is wisdom. This light is peace. This light is love. This light is truth. As you see the glow expanding, silently affirm to yourself, I trust my inner teacher. Divine wisdom guides every decision. I live from truth rather than appearances. The Christ within me blesses everyone I meet. Imagine this light expanding beyond your body, surrounding your family, your community, and the entire world. Know that every person carries this same divine light, whether they recognize it or not. Rest for a few moments in the silence, allowing truth to speak without words. As we prepare to return, gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel gratitude for this sacred presence that is always with you and within you. Carry this knowledge into your day. The truth I seek is the truth I am. Take one final deep breath and another. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. Thank you for allowing me to share this book, A Quest for Truth, with you. And please remember, spiritual growth is an inside job.